Hello YouTube, this is the solo board gaming guide to Hoplomachus Origins, a game by Chip Theory Games and Josh and Adam Carlson. These are the guys that did Too Many Bones and Trip Lock, and they're known for the super high quality components, and in particular their use of poker chips in the games. So let's have a look. It's a 1 to 2 player game and features a number of components I'm going to go through in this video. I'm going to do some other videos including rules and some playthroughs, but essentially it's set in the arenas of Rome, and there's different houses which are going to fight in a number of scenarios. You can either do a head-to-head battle as a 2-player or as a solo player, which is what I'm interested in. There's loads of interesting challenges, and this is a really well-rated solo game. So let's have a look in the box. So Chip Theory Games are noted for their quality of components, and the manual sort of lives up to that. It's a nice brief tome, pretty clear what all the different parts of the chips are, and there's really a good explanation of the rules. However, on the back of this are some of the keywords that the various units will have, and until you've played quite a bit of it, you find yourself using this an awful lot. For example, there's a colour coding system, abilities are in green, alternative attacks are in red, and innates, which are more like passive abilities, are always active there in blue, and there's various words which allow the units to do different things. So onto the neoprene mats. Again, it's such a tactile experience, absolutely fantastic. It's the mouse pad type neoprene mat, and if you can see that there on the edge, they're stitched all the way around. It's really high quality finish, and the quality of the printing is absolutely second to none. Quite often on these neoprene mats you get some bleed, and there's none of that here. So let's have a look at the 3 arenas. So we have Xanadu arena, and this is essentially like a king of the castle. There's some raised stones in the middle, and you'll move around your units to try and occupy these center stones, and in doing so you'll gain points, and also you'll gain bonuses. In particular, you're more able to inflict damage on units when you're stood up here, up high. So that's like a king of the castle type scenario. Here we have Anvil of the Sun, El Dorado. Let's have a quick look across some of the detail on the map. And you can see at either end of the arena are these pillars, and a little treasure chest. And one common theme you'll see is these blood spatters and mud marks. These are on all the maps, and they mark starting positions. It's quite a clever way of keeping the theme without resorting to some kind of colour coding and messing up the look of the game. So in this, it's almost like reverse capture the flag. You've got to get your tribute, which I'll come on to in a second, across to the other side. So that's an interesting game of blocking and also using fast units, kind of a bit like rugby or lacrosse to some degree. So there we have it. That is El Dorado Anvil of the Sun, and this is one of my favourite ones, which is the Atlantis map. Essentially it's a battle to the death, but it's in the Atlantis sort of nautical theme, and the artwork's really nice. And this has got a really cool mechanic whereby you can throw a trident and either summon a sea monster, which sort of just lands in a hex and bites everything around it, or it can be used as a special attack. So 3 very different maps, almost like 3 games in one, and gives a great variety and really gets you thinking. There's a big puzzle element to this game, which I really like, and it's one of Ricky Royal's favourite games, and I'm not surprised. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, Origins is one of the smaller of the Hoplomachus series of games, and normally they're on enormous, great big mats, and the cost of entry is pretty big. So this was my way of dipping my toe in and seeing if I do like it, which I've got to say I do. I don't tend to do reviews on this channel because I've had a go at designing games myself, and it's so difficult. So to sit here and sort of criticise other people feels a little bit rich, but if I was to do a review on this, it's absolutely fantastic. Great game. And I purchased a couple of extras as well. This is a wholly unnecessary but quite pretty staging mat. When you've got such a beautiful game, the chips, which I'll come on to in a second, feel so nice to just have things strewn around on a tablecloth or away from your game table seems a real shame. So this, you'll see if I zoom in, it's got a place for your fallen warriors, but basically, to use a footballing analogy, you've got your subs bench. You can line up your drafts here, and it's also good for a two-player game. You've got the two separate areas. The same kind of thing. It's a little add-on from the Chip Theory website. Yeah, great little touch. Onto some of these rule sheets in addition to the manual. These are sort of strange. They are plastic, and I believe, like the Too Many Bones cards, which are supposedly waterproof. You could absolutely run these under a tap if you ever wanted to. I suppose you might spill a drink on them. But we've got specific solo trials rules, and it gives you sort of drafting rules for each of them, and then it's got an AI for each of the arenas. So it tells you that, for example, all Atlantis units will move towards the opposing leader and so on. So that's quite interesting. I will come on to that. We've also got the solo trials lineup. Each one of these is a different combination of challenges in a different arena, and it gives you various setup rules, such as you're not allowed to draft certain units, or you to face certain units in a certain arena, you might have various restrictions. It gives a fantastic puzzle-like element. And here we have the AI for each of the arenas. Finally, we've got some house reputation rules. This isn't something I've particularly experimented with, although I really should, because apparently it's quite an integral part of the game. You can level up, you reach a house reputation, and then as far as I understand, that gives sort of like a handicap system between two players. So yeah, it gives you various drafting rules depending on your reputation, which you can gain by winning and losing games, both, as far as I know, in the solo mode and also in the two-player mode. So onto components. You'll see there's lots of lovely chips, and they're all this sort of premium feel. I don't know what it is. It feels almost ceramic. I'm sure it's not, but it's they've got that casino feel. Absolutely lovely. And this is one of the health chips. Compare it to the original ones. I haven't even bothered opening these. This was another upgrade from the Chip Theory website, which again just seemed like a no-brainer, considering it was only a little bit extra and just gives that premium feel to a lovely game. So we have unopened chips. I really should probably discard these. They have nothing really to show, except they do have the embossed injection molded Chip Theory logo on there, whereas these health chips again have a Chip Theory in the background, but they feel really nice. The units are color coded, and we'll have a look at those in a second. So I pulled out a few color coded units. Here's some of them. We have Xanadu, and this is an archer, long range, and it gives you a number of dice you can roll along with some other stats we'll go through in the rules video. We have Rome, he's a really fast guy. Pompey, and then we have these champions as well. One small criticism I have of the game is there's some amount of discord between the rule book and the symbols, the iconography on the chips, because sometimes it'll refer to champions. It's not always clear exactly what it means, but there's a few questions cleared up on the Board Game Geek. There you go, they feel absolutely beautiful. And the way you signify health, if you're not familiar, is you just place under the number of health chips. So this is a 2 health, so it would have 2 health chips on that go on your map. When it loses a health, it loses a chip, and so on until it no longer has any chips and the unit has died. So they're units and health chips. Let's have a look at some of the special chips. So this is the trident that I talked about in the Atlantis map, the trident spear. So it gives various abilities. It's got a nice little back, and you can actually use that to summon a sea monster, which has 2 sides, and you actually flip it in the game. You see which one you summon, so it gives quite a lot of replayability. The tributes, there's a gold one and a silver one, which is sort of the 2 different colours in the capture the flag mode. And also we have, pointlessly enough, a flip chip, which I think's used to determine sort of 50-50 type decisions in the game. And here's something Atlantis chips that I missed out before. Onto the dice, finally. We're coming towards the end of this this sort of preview. We've got 4 different dice. I suppose out of all the beautiful components, these are a little bit generic and disappointing. I much prefer the printed dice myself, but these have been laser etched and infilled by the looks of things to me. They're quite generic, and again, I'm getting really picky. I'm not criticising mechanics, only maybe if you look there, it's not coloured in fully. There's a little bit of black showing through, which is perhaps a little bit picky. But basically, the dice give a different. Each H is a hit, and so a yellow dice has got 2 out of 6, so 33% chance of hitting, whereas say a black dice has got 5 out of 6. I'm not going to do the mental arithmetic on that, but that's obviously a much better prospect if you want to hit and damage your enemy. So that's a quick look at the beautiful Hoplomachus Origins game. I'm going to do a video which I'll link to up here, which will show a playthrough of some of the first solo trials and set up and how I go about drafting some of the units. So I hope you like these videos. If you do like, subscribe and comment to let me know of any other top solo games. I'm always interested in finding out more, expanding the collection, and if you've got any tips for me, because as much as I love it, I am pretty bad at this game. So anyway, I'll see you around in the next video.